Good morning and happy Monday to the Ungovernables, the Captain's Crew, the LFA family, McGroin Nation, coming to you live from the Deep Red State, the chilly state once again of Tennessee on rumble.com/LFA TV. Welcome to Ungoverned. Happy to be here on a Monday. Just 3 days left, today, tomorrow, and Wednesday of 2025. Isn't that wild?
It's crazy.
Find it kind of crazy.
We're back on the podcast side of things.
Yeah,
we just got done with radio, guys. I'm on the radio now.
Yeah, Brennan just she made her debut last week on Christmas Eve on 1210 WPHT and joined me for the remainder of the show there, and did the same thing today, and she will be likely doing the same thing tomorrow. Mañana. We had a lot of fun at the expense of many, many liberals, of course, and everything in between. The Somali fraud case has exploded. How about the work of independent journalist Nick Shirley? I think he did a phenomenal job. Obviously, his video has garnered over 100 million views on X alone. I'm not sure what else it garnered on other platforms, but the work that he did and the work that his assistant there, I believe his name was David, also did, really just great stuff, great work done by Nick Shirley, 23 years old. I know what I was doing at 23, and it was not independent journalism, not at all. So, we could say I was reporting on the efficacy of some alcoholic beverages. That might have been the extent of my journalism at age 23. Okay, good. The fraud story has really, it gripped the nation. Oh, look, you go through Christmas. You go through, Christmas Eve, Christmas the day after. Everything kind of slows down. And maybe it was just the right thing at the right time, but I really do think this is a massive, massive story. So, let us start with kind of 30,000 feet. What's going on here? I'm going to announce something right now, and I did this on 1210 WPHT. I'm making a career change.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I'm no longer going to be, hosting any sort of content. I'm not going to make any content anymore. We're not impersonating Trump anymore. I'm not going to post on social media anymore.
Well, what are you going to do?
I'm going to start a Somali daycare center.
Oh, count me in. Because
over the course of a year, we could bring in $2 million, and not bad, right? So I'm just gonna. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm just a career change. If anybody would like to open up a Somali daycare center with me, we could talk about it offline. Okay? I think it's a worthy venture.
I think it's a good idea.
I think it's a great idea. So let's get in on the while the getting's good, right? No, I'm just kidding. But I find it very interesting that's not really a joke, though, because what we saw take place, or what we saw reported on, what we saw uncovered over the weekend with Nick Shirley and $2 million in one location, another $1 million in another location, and no children in any of these places. And I said this on 1210 this morning. Whether you're right, left, red, blue, up, down, male, female, white, black, whatever you are, if you are a taxpayer, a federal taxpayer in this country, you are a victim of the Somali fraud scheme that has been uncovered in Minnesota, that has also been uncovered in Minneapolis. You're a victim. And the folks that are supposed to be protecting you, The folks that are supposed to be protecting your money, you're giving the government your money. They're supposed to be making sure that it is spent properly. And is it ever going to be perfect? No. Is there always going to be some level of fraud? Yes. Does it have to be, though, to the tune of millions upon millions of dollars, $9 billion? And this, the $9 billion that was abused in Minnesota's welfare programs and the $9 billion on Medicaid and feeding the future and all that is I think, separate from what's going on here with the daycare centers. Tim Walz is now facing complaints or calls to resign. But here's what it's going to take. It's going to take Pam. Hello? Pam Bondi.
Hello?
It's going to take the authorities. It's going to take the Republican Party. It's going to take people in positions of authority to actually do something about this if they want it to stop. I don't want to see finger wagging. I do not want to see Pam Bondi on Fox News. Under Trump, we will not tolerate this behavior. You are tolerating it because you're doing nothing to address it. Now, in Minneapolis, there have been, I think, or in the Minnesota area in this scheme, 57 convictions. Not enough, but a good start. A good start. I don't want to hear tough talk. I don't want to see letters. I don't want to hear about subpoenas. I want to see justice. You're a victim of it. I'm a victim of it. Anybody who pays taxes in this country, especially if you live in Minnesota, are victims of this fraud. All of us are victims of this fraud. Now, whether it's to the tune of $10, $100, $1,000, or 10 cents, it doesn't matter. Your money has been stolen. Your generosity has been abused. Your country's coffers have been pillaged by people who don't belong here. The FBI is referring people to immigration authorities to be denaturalized and deported. Well, I'm going to talk about what goes into denaturalization and deportation so that, again, you have realistic expectations going forward. Because if there's one thing I want you to get from this show, every time I get behind a microphone and in front of the camera, I want you to come out of there with information and realistic expectations. How many times have we heard so-and-so is going to be in handcuffs, so-and-so is going to Gitmo, so-and-so is doing this, so-and-so is doing that, this one's where all of this red meat, this chumming of the water, the piranhas are snapping up, all the meat. How many times have we seen ourselves worked into a frenzy over unrealistic expectations? How many times? I don't want to see the letdown. I'm going to say this right now, and then in a few minutes we'll get to it more in depth. This idea of denaturalizing and deporting these Somalis, not the refugees, because if they're not a citizen, you can't be denaturalized. If you are a Somali American in this country, in other words, you're a citizen, it is very difficult to denaturalize and deport that individual. That doesn't mean that they're not going to be held accountable. It just means that they may be imprisoned here versus deported, okay? We'll get to the ins and outs of what it takes to denaturalize somebody. It's not as simple as waving the magic wand, okay? Now, for those Somalis who are under temporary protected status, for those who are refugees and non-citizens, totally different story. We'll get to the differences and the nuances there so you know what to expect. Because there are too many people, too many times, start clamoring for things that are just not possible. that just won't happen. This is one of those times where we need to have realistic expectations and understand the path forward. Remember over the summer where everyone was like, where are the Doge cuts? And the best ways to get those Doge cuts were through rescissions, which didn't happen because the Senate wound up sitting on their hands, not working in August. Then, of course, you got to September and then the government shutdown and all that. Know what you want. Know the pathways. We're going to give you that information, and we will we'll show you what can and cannot be done. Before we do that, I want to get to a word from our friends over at OFP Farms. If you need a last-minute belated Christmas gifts, you can deck the halls with cheer from OFP Farms, where holiday gift sets are jingling and ready to impress. They are famous for their fabulous gift bundles, and they've packed Santa's sleigh with goodies for every budget. Hold on to your elf hats because they are dropping a very merry surprise with a not 5, not 10, not 15, but 20% discount for the rest of the month. The sale is on, so scoop up those holiday gift sets, delightful treats for her, wellness treasures, and beard and bath marvels. Go to ofpfarms.com. Supplies are rarer than snow in the tropics. And you know how rare snow is in the tropics. Supplies are rarer than snow in the tropics. So head over to ofpfarms.com. Use the promo code Sean, SHAWN, Sierra Hotel Alpha Whiskey November. That is ofpfarms.com. Promo code SHAWN for 20% off until the end of the month. That is ofpfarms.com. Promo code Sean, ofpfarms.com. Promo code Sierra Hotel Alpha Whiskey November for 20% off. All right. Let us get started here with the Somali fraud story in Minnesota. Okay, independent journalist Nick Shirley broke this story over the weekend, or added to what was already an active story over the weekend, with just a wildly viral piece of reporting that shows you that there are still actual quote-unquote journalists who care about journalism versus an agenda. Nick Shirley and the gentleman David, who he was with, uncovered evidence, what looked to be evidence of fraud, and then so they went in person and investigated, and nobody wanted to talk about what was going on inside of these buildings, right? People with nothing to hide stuff, right, Brennan?
That's right.
People with nothing to hide stuff. They had nothing to hide, and they were hiding everything. A clip posted to social media accounts by independent videographer Nick Shirley shows that the daycare in question, which Fox News reports is licensed to care for up to 99 children, was seriously bereft of children. There's nobody there, says Nick Shirley. At one point, he and another man approached the building, prompting a woman there to shout to others, "Don't open up, it's ICE." Listen, we all have met this type of Karen. We've all met these type of people. I can't stand these type of people. I don't know how Nick Shirley didn't lose his mind here. This clip it makes me go crazy when I play it. So now you have to see it. First of all, they can't spell the word learning, these brilliant Somali geniuses who are here. But second, look at this woman and just, are these people not insufferable? Watch this.
This Quality Learning Center. I meant to say Quality Learning Center.
Don't open up.
They said they spelt learning wrong.
Here. Don't open up.
How do you have ICE here, ma'am? I'm literally a YouTuber.
Don't open up.
Ma'am, what do you think about the fraud that's taking place here in Minnesota?
Don't open up. We have ICE.
Ma'am, what do you think about this place being licensed for 99 children?
Don't open up.
And getting $4 million
Don't
over
open
the
up. It's ICE.
$4 million in the last 2 years?
Go away.
What do you think about that? Are you in
Go
favor?
away.
Are you in favor of that?
Go away.
You know where
You're not welcome here.
You-
Shame on you.
Are you in favor of $1.9 million going
ICE.
illegally,
Don't open up.
fraudulently? This Quality Learning Center. I meant to say Quality Learning Center.
Don't open
They
up.
said,
I don't know what happened to why that changed like that, but there you go. Don't open up. It's ICE. Is that what ICE to you?
No.
Nick Shirley? Don't open up. Don't open it. You know what that sounded like? Right?
It did.
It sounded like the rooster. Wait, let's play it again.
this Quality Learning Center. I meant to say Quality Learning Center.
Don't open
They
up.
said They spelt learning wrong.
Don't open up!
How do you have ice here, ma'am? I'm literally a YouTuber.
Don't open up!
Ma'am, what do you think about the fraud that's taking place here in Minnesota?
Don't open up! We have ice!
This is state of Minnesota. Right here.
And who are you?
My name's Nick Shirley, ma'am.
And who are you with?
Nick Shirley. Nick Shirley on YouTube.
Yeah, so who are you with here?
Oh, he's just been doing some research investigating the fraud that's taking place here in Minnesota.
Yeah, I'm with Nick Shirley.
This lady, she's calling us ice. We're just trying to...
That didn't look like ice. Shiver me timbers, right? Shiver me timbers. Oh.
Empty minds make the most noise.
Goodness, talk about... That is the truth. Empty minds do make the most noise. We've all met one of those, right? Where you just you can't get through. You know who she reminds me of? She also that type of person reminds me of the woke right.
Yeah.
You know, where it's like radical Islam's a problem. Yeah, but it's the Jews' fault. Okay, what's not the Jews' fault? Don't open up. It's the Mossad. Shiver me timbers. I'll tell you what, once we get into 2026, I'm not going to pay a lot of attention to these people because I want to win the midterms.
Yeah.
I'm just going to mock them.
There you go.
And they're going to be like, oh, you're not giving anything of substance because nothing matters to you people. You see the woman, that woman right there, if she's a taxpayer in the state of Minnesota, she's a victim of the fraud that she's defending. That's the crazy part about this. She is a victim of the fraud that she herself is defending. And so we're just going to mock these people.
Yeah.
It's the Mossad. It's the Jews. I need a parrot
No.
element on the show now.
Yeah.
I don't need an actual parrot.
I was gonna
Although
say.
if I had an actual parrot, I can make it sound like Trump. Then it would be me and the bird. I would say China. The bird would say China.
I would have surround sound.
Somalia.
Oy.
Don't open up. It's pretty damn good.
That was like my gobble.
I can't. Yeah, the gobble
My
was
turkey
very
gobble.
good. The gobble was very good. We all know that woman. I can tell you where that woman lives. She lives in an HOA. She's probably either on the board or the president. We all know these insufferable people exist. We all know they exist. So the FBI now is getting involved. Kash Patel is confirming now that the FBI is reporting and referring some of these Somalis to immigration authorities for denaturalization and deportation. The question is, how difficult, because we've heard this, how difficult is it to denaturalize and deport somebody? And so now is the time where, unfortunately, I'm going to have to give you some, I'm not going to say what you want to hear, but I have to tell you what I believe to be the truth. I'm going to tell you here that not to get your hopes up with the denaturalization and deportation stuff. Okay? Not that they're not going to be held accountable, but I don't think you're going to see many denaturalized and deported. Is it something that can be explored? Yes. Should it be explored? Yes. Should we go into this thinking that there's going to be many denaturalizations and deportations? No. This is why. In order to denaturalize somebody, this is a separate federal legal process. It is not automatic, and it does not happen just because somebody was accused of a crime. The United States government can seek to revoke citizenship, somebody's naturalized citizenship, only if it can be proven that their citizenship was obtained unlawfully. Proven means beyond the opinion. I get this all the time. Well, they came in here illegally. Well, I think they may have lied. I think. But unless you can prove it, there's nothing you can do. Okay? That's the way our system works. It is innocent until proven guilty. It is not guilty because somebody has an opinion, right? Typical legal grounds for denaturalization includes fraud or willful misrepresentation during the naturalization process. For example, lying about your identity, criminal history, or eligibility. Now, somebody came in here and got citizenship and did so under a fake name. They can be denaturalized. Fine. Concealing material facts that would have made someone ineligible for citizenship or other limited statutory grounds like membership in hostile organizations if undisclosed. Just committing a crime after becoming a citizen does not by itself allow denaturalization. Instead, the government's got to show that the crime indicates that the citizenship was illegally obtained. Here's an easy way to kind of understand this, okay? Here's an easy way to kind of understand this. A naturalized U.S. citizen cannot be denaturalized just for committing crimes after becoming a citizen. This is not like where you're given a visa to come into the country and work, study, whatever, and you become a problem and your visa can be revoked and you can be shipped back out of the country. It's not that simple. When you're naturalized, you are a citizen of the United States. You are then protected by the Constitution, okay? Now, denaturalization is not a punishment for later criminal behavior. Denaturalization is only lawful if the government can prove that the citizenship was never legally obtained in the first place. So think of it this way. When you're denaturalized, it's like the government saying to the person who loses their citizenship, you were never lawfully a citizen to begin with. You were not honest when you applied for citizenship. Therefore, the approval of that application is null and void because you lied on the application. Okay? It's not, we gave you citizenship, you behaved badly, you broke the law, so now we're taking the citizenship back. You can't do that. You can't do that. The only time you can do that is if the crime that you have been found to have committed was happening before you were naturalized, thus making you ineligible for U.S. citizenship because you're breaking the law, or you're lying about criminal activity, or you are affiliated with a hostile organization. Okay? So in terms of this from the FBI, okay? In terms of this, don't get your hopes up that any of these Somali fraudsters, if they are American citizens, will be denaturalized and deported. It is a very long, very difficult process because in order to denaturalize somebody, you have to prove that they obtained their citizenship illegally. Now, that's partially bad news. You're like, oh no, crikey, what are we going to do now? Right? Tarzan's out. What are we going to do now? Here's what we're going to do now. Just because somebody can't be denaturalized doesn't mean that's where the accountability stops. U.S. citizens, naturalized or native born, are subject to U.S. law. They have to abide by U.S. law. Did these Somali fraudsters break U.S. law? It looks like they may have. Some of them have been convicted already. 57 of them have been convicted already. And if they can't be denaturalized and deported, they can absolutely still be prosecuted and thrown in prison. Here's what needs to happen. Full stop. Okay? Here's what needs to happen in Minnesota and potentially in Ohio and in Maine and any other states where this type of stuff is happening. And I have a feeling it's more than just Minnesota, Ohio, and Maine. Okay? Here's what needs to happen. The Department of Justice and all of the authorities and all of those involved in investigating and compiling all of this evidence, they need to make huge examples of these people. I don't want to hear about the House Oversight Committee wagging their fingers and, oh, this is unacceptable. And then here comes we just got a letter. Wonder who it's from. A strongly worded letter. Wonder who it's from. I don't want strongly worded letters. Leave that to Blue's Clues. I don't want strongly worded letters. I don't want strongly worded tweets. I don't want Fox News hits from Pam Bondi. I don't want these promises of justice is coming. I want freaking justice. That's what I want. Because whether you're red, blue, black, white, Hispanic, Asian, up, down, left, right, east, west, anything. If you are a taxpayer in the United States of America, and especially if you're a taxpayer in the state of Minnesota, these fraudsters don't discriminate who they steal the money from. They just steal it. They have stolen from you. Think about this. If you put $1.25 into a vending machine for a bag of potato chips, and that bag of potato chips does not come out of that vending machine, what do? You kick it, you shake it, you punch it, you cuss at it, you get really upset. It's just $1.25 though. But you paid for it. It is yours. You want those chips, right? If you, let's say it's something even more than $1.25. If you order something on Amazon, you pay $50. It never shows up. What are you doing? You're getting in touch with Amazon. You're getting your refund because you've been stolen from, right? You are a victim of this fraud, no matter who you voted for, no matter what side of the political aisle you're on, whether you vote or you don't vote, whether you're a male or a female, your race, your religion, your country of origin, none of that matters. If you are a taxpayer here in the United States of America, and especially in the state of Minnesota, it doesn't matter who you are, what you look like, what language you speak, what food you eat, what religion you practice, what job you work. If you're paying taxes, you are a victim of this fraud, period, full stop. And you should be demanding justice just like the rest of us. That woman who was screaming at Nick Shirley, don't open up! That woman, she's a victim of it too if she pays taxes. It is not okay, and unless there are harsh consequences, it's going to keep happening. It's going to keep happening. I don't want finger wagging. I don't want tough talk on Fox News. I don't want letters. I want justice. Your country's coffers are being pillaged by foreign parasites. That's what they are. They are parasites. Sucking this country dry at the expense of you, at the expense of me, and anybody else who pays taxes. Our taxes are not supposed to be taken and given to businesses, child care centers that aren't looking after any children. And it is not racist. It is not racist to target fraud. It is not racist to demand that our money that we work hard for, that is siphoned out of our pockets. It is not racist to demand that that money is being used properly and is not being sent to fraudsters that are then taking that money and sending it overseas, possibly into the hands of terrorist organizations. That's not racist. That's us looking out for our country. Now, I mentioned that denaturalization is not likely for a bunch of these people. However, here's another bit of news. And this is, I'm going to contrast both of these two things. When you have naturalized citizenship, you have permanent legal status as a citizen of the United States, unless it can be proven beyond a reasonable doubt and a judge agrees that you lied during that application or you obtained your citizenship unlawfully. Okay? Let's say a member of Al-Qaeda applies for U.S. citizenship, does not disclose that he's a member of Al-Qaeda, then is later found out to be a member of Al-Qaeda, he can be denaturalized. If a Somali immigrant comes to the United States, lawfully obtains citizenship, and then becomes a part of the Somali fraud ring, that person likely cannot be denaturalized. That person can still be thrown in jail and should be. But here's the difference. Look, there are some Somalis here who are not citizens. Maybe they're under temporary protected status. The executive branch has the authority to revoke that. It is temporary. It can be revoked very easily. Ineligibility, crimes, policy changes can have it revoked. The due process that's awarded there is purely administrative, not judicial. Whereas if you're naturalized and you're going to be denaturalized, that is a full judicial process, court hearings and trials, etc. The burden of proof for a TPS immigrant is on the immigrant. The burden of proof to denaturalize somebody who's already a U.S. citizen is on the government. You are deportable immediately if your TPS status is revoked. So here's what I want to see. I want to see the temporary protected status of every Somali refugee in this country revoked tomorrow. I want to see it revoked tomorrow. And I want to see all of them go. Sean, that's cold. What if they go back? What if they're going back to a country where it's not safe? Then you got to take it up with your own community. Because if you guys and gals who came here didn't just steal billions of U.S. taxpayer dollars, and I have a feeling it's more than that, it's just $9 billion in Minnesota. I can't imagine what New York looks like. I can't imagine what California looks like. And it may not be Somalis. But if one group's doing it, you bet your ass that so many other people are doing it too. I want them all out. I want a moratorium on immigration. And until we have our house in order, nothing else matters. No finger wagging, no tough talk, justice. Justice. And if you're not willing to bring about swift and conclusive justice, then get out of the position and let somebody take that job who's interested in protecting us. All right. Here is a quick break. Ladies and gentlemen, quick break. I want to let you know about you ever heard of Cameo?
Yeah.
It's a cool website, right? And obviously on my website, farishmedia.com, I've been doing these custom audio and video messages, but I don't usually, it's not what I do all the time. It's kind of there for you to use it. I'm also a part of a really awesome new platform called Shoutout, which is the conservative alternative, parallel economy alternative to Cameo. Cameo gets pretty band happy. They lean in directions we don't necessarily want them to lean. So I encourage you to check out shoutout.us. This is an amazing platform, easy to use, just like Cameo, but better because you're supporting really good people. Your favorite president and other top voices on Shoutout, they're very excited about it. Shoutout's a new way to connect with your favorite personalities and roast your liberal friends. Wish somebody a happy birthday, get advice or gift a personalized shout-out from your favorite conservative influencers like Haley Karanea. We know Haley.
Yeah.
Haley Karanea does a fantastic job. Steven Crowder. And so many other people. You guys know I got a ton of messages on Shoutout on that platform during Christmas. Now you can order your New Year's message at shoutout.us/SHAWN, shoutout.us/Sean to get 15% off of your order today. That is Shoutout, SHOUTOUT.us/Sean, Sierra Hotel Alpha Whiskey November for 15% off of your Shoutout order today. Check it out, shoutout.us. It's a great platform. I've made a ton of messages for people already. It's a lot of fun. So head over to shoutout.us and get 15% off of your order if you want your favorite president to send a New Year's message to a friend or maybe an enemy.
Oh.
I love roasting the libs. I get one like my aunt hates Donald Trump. Say nice things about the aunt. I say, you look at it. Aunt Kelly, you're a nasty person. You're a nice person, but you're a nasty person because you don't like me very much. Some people say, don't go too hard. Some people say, go all in. So we have a good time. All right. Next up, a word from our friends over at Silent. It's slnt.com, slnt.com/Sean. Let's face it, guys and gals, your phone is a tracking device. Between government agencies, big tech, corporate data brokers, even cyber criminals, they're all fighting for a piece of your digital footprint. They don't ask. They just go on and take it. That is why Silent exists. Silent makes Faraday gear that blocks all wireless signals, including cellular, Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, GPS, RFID, and near-field communications. No signal means no tracking, no remote access, and no breadcrumbs. It's the same technology trusted by special operations teams worldwide, used to block signals, avoid surveillance, and secure communications wherever your mission leads. And right now, all of that is available to you to protect your family, protect your freedom, and secure your digital footprint. Just drop your phone in a silent Faraday sleeve, and it is off the grid, completely silent and invisible to the outside world. From their backpacks to their sleeves to their crossbodies, Silent's patented technology gives you control of your privacy. Just visit slnt.com/Sean, SHAWN, to save 15% and get free shipping on qualifying orders. That is Silent, slnt.com/Sean. Protect your rights, secure your data, and stay one step ahead. Silent, slnt.com, silent.com. Silence the chaos and go silent today. slnt.com/Sean, slnt.com/Sierra Hotel Alpha Whiskey November. All right. Here we go. Who could have cake on my face and not be bothered? Me?
You. Because someone said, what's on Sean's face? And I said, he knows it's there.
Oh, yeah. It's there.
He doesn't care.
I don't care. It's all good. Bad Moon is melting down in the chat.
Yes, we have exceeded we're at 866.
Okay, we have hit the Mo threshold.
Yes.
Okay. So I'm gonna do something. I'm gonna give you a little bonus today because before the holiday we forgot that we had Santa Mo, so we're gonna honk Santa Mo. Honk.
Oh.
Okay. Santa Mo says ho 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 mo mo mo, right? And then we also have real Mo. There it is. There it is. There it is. All right. We're honking our hedgehog live on camera. I love doing that, okay? We love honking our hedgehog. One more clip out of Minnesota. There you go. Look at the chat going absolutely bonkers for Mo. Look at the chat going absolutely... What? The chat's not available. Oh, I know what I did. I'll put it up there for you. All right, hold on. Give me a second, ladies and gentlemen. It's always a rough morning when we... go through 1210, right? Fun, but harder to get prepped in the morning. But everyone's going wild for Mo. And have you noticed that, like, Brennan and I kind of noticed this?
What?
All of a sudden, like, everywhere, why does that keep happening? I didn't say to do that. All of a sudden, everywhere...
the hedgehogs are all over the place?
There's hedgehogs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're welcome.
So I'm pretty sure that
It's
I'm pretty sure that we started the
from
trend.
Cora.
See, you
Cora
see
really
that? When I
started.
hit control, it goes to that. I don't know why. That must be something. I'm gonna have to look that up. All right. Cora started that trend.
Mm-hmm. My mom's dog.
And
Her dog.
now we have Mo all over the place. So, all right, let's get to this video out of Minnesota. Again, just about all of the crazy fraud that's taking place in Minnesota from these Somali quote-unquote daycare centers. Watch.
Massive fraud is going on here in the state of Minnesota, especially in Minneapolis. Explain to me what's going on with the daycares.
So one of the things that I've noticed is there's an exceptional number of child care centers that are set up mostly in Minneapolis, but also in St. Paul. And I said, wow, how many kids are there in the Twin Cities? Some of them are by my office, and I would watch, and I said, well, there aren't any kids there. And I'd go to another one, there aren't any kids there, and I'd see just some Somali guys outside smoking cigarettes. So I stopped at one of them, and I said, hey, I'm just wondering, I've got a grandson who's looking for childcare, and I wonder if this might be a good facility. And they said, no, we're all full. And they had the door open, and I looked, and there were no kids. There was like a couch and a table with a couple chairs, and I said, well, are the kids out back playing, or what kind of place is this? And the guy said, you go, and he almost pushed me out the door, and then he followed me down the street to my car, and that's when I said, wait a minute, there's something going on here, and that's got to be maybe 5 years ago. This fraud is so massive. When the dust settles on this, it's going to be found to be the largest fraud in the history of the country and probably the world. It's that big. The ones that I've gotten data on, they average about $2.5 million a year, and a lot of them will say they have anywhere from 80 to 120 children. I've been to literally 40 or 50 of these childcare, and there never has been a single child at any one of them ever. Morning, afternoon, evening. Some of them say they're open till 10 o'clock at night. I go there in the morning, I go there in the afternoon, I go there at 9 o'clock at night. Nobody. There are no kids there ever.
No kids in a child care facility that is supposed to be caring for children. Anybody have a problem with this? I do. I know you do. Where are our elected officials? Now, I get it. This all has been coming out over the course of the last couple of months, and maybe a little bit longer than that. Justice moves slow. Government moves slow. I'm once again going to sit here and say I'll give them the benefit of the doubt. There have been some convictions already, so it's not like nothing has happened, but not enough. Not enough. So it is. We got to go after them 100% here. It got to be no holds barred. Just go after them. All right. This one drove me nuts on 1210 this morning. If you were listening to 1210, you've heard some of this already, but some of you guys aren't there. So here we go. And Mary says this is going on in Ohio too. And yes, it is. And I've got something from Ohio as well on the Somali fraud. But did you hear what's going on in Charlottesville, Virginia? Anybody in the chat hear what's going on in Charlottesburg, Virginia? Wow. And also an update here. Thank you, Pete Santilli. Appreciate you. Just sent me a message on Signal. Tim Walls calls journalist Nick Shirley a white supremacist for reporting on millions in Somali daycare fraud. So now you're a white supremacist. You see, this is what I was talking about. Oh, no. The seatbelt's on. This is what I'm... Why? Oh, I don't understand why it keeps changing. I don't know. We're going to have to fix that. How? Explain to me this. How are you a white supremacist by saying, hey, I'm getting stolen from and I don't like it? Why? Because it's brown people that are doing the stealing? So now I'm a white supremacist because I don't like that brown people are stealing from me? I don't like if anyone steals from me. I don't care if it's a white person, a black person, a brown person, a yellow person, or a space alien. If you're stealing from me, I'm mad. That does not make me a white supremacist. Well, he's targeting the Somalis. He's not targeting the Somalis. He's targeting the fraud. It just so happens to be Somalis that are the ones doing it. GOP whip Tom Emmer lashed out at Minnesota governor on Tim Walz, demanded answers asking $4 million of hard-earned tax dollars going to an education center that can't even spell learning correctly. Walz responded to the fraud by attacking Nick Shirley. Quote, this is what happens when they scapegoat, and this is what happens when they no longer hide the idea of white supremacy. Now it looks like everything I press winds up going to that, so that's okay. We're not going to use the keypad today. We're just going to go through here. White supremacy. You got to be kidding me. All right, let's move on from the Somali fraud. You know what? Let's go to Ohio first, and then we'll do this other one out of Charlottesville, because this Ohio story is crazy too. It's happening in Ohio, yes. It's happening in Ohio, yes. And an Ohio journalist essentially laid out that Somalis in Columbus, Ohio, which is the second largest Somali population, I believe, in the country, are doing essentially the same thing that is happening in Minnesota. So here we go. Okay, again, why? I don't know what the hell's going on. Oh, I hit control. That's why. Duh. Okay. Ohio journalist exposed the alleged Somalian EBT scam fueling cash businesses. The journalist documents what he describes as a pattern in which Somali-owned restaurants are closely connected to grocery stores, allowing welfare benefits intended for household food purchases to be redirected into commercial operations. The journalist is shown touring multiple areas of Columbus while explaining how the alleged scheme operates, and he based it off of this woman's, I think her name is Nakia Dion, her reporting. Take a look at this.
Come see Columbus, Ohio, fraud investigators. If you go to the government-assisted housing areas, you will find that most of the housing is Somalians. I would say about 80% of the government-assisted housing in Columbus is occupied by Somalians. And the parking lot is occupied with a whole bunch of brand new cars. And the women walking around have designer purses with EBT cards, and they have Apple iPhones stuck up in their hijabs. Yeah. And then go to the businesses that are owned by the men. Because see, what happens is when you have a restaurant or when you have a little corner store and you have a couple of wives and you only have to claim one, then that means the other wives get EBT cards, and you can use those EBT cards to buy food for your store or your restaurant. Yeah. Or what you can do is you can get a home health aid company, and then you only hire Somalians to work the home health aid. And what you do is you just make sure their paperwork looks right. It don't have to be right, but you just make sure it looks right. And then you send them off for those home health aid jobs. Y'all don't want to talk about fraud.
Highway Dog in our chat says, she must be another white supremacist. Yes. Yeah. I guess Nikita Dion is a white supremacist, right? Nikita Dion, huh? According to Tim Walz, probably. Hopefully something is done about it. Let's go to Charlottesville, Virginia. Did you guys hear about this? What's going on in Charlottesville here? This is some crazy, crazy stuff, friends. This is some crazy, crazy stuff. Charlottesville, Virginia. You guys know all about, if you live in New York, and there's more than just New York, but license plate readers and speed cameras and things of that nature, right? How we kind of have a little too much surveillance in this country, if you ask me. Well, in Charlottesville, they are ending license plate cameras over fears that the data won't necessarily entrap American citizens. No. They're afraid that these license plate cameras may have data that gets shared that could be used to identify illegal aliens. If you needed any more proof that they are putting illegals first over us, it does not get any clearer than that. It does not get any clearer than that. I don't want a surveillance state. I don't want cameras all over the place. I don't want red light cameras. I don't want speed cameras. I don't want, because what they have in China where they're tracking you and a social credit score and all this other crazy stuff, right? I don't want that. We have that. So now the reason why you're getting rid of that isn't because it's in the best interest of the American people, but because it's in the best interest of illegal aliens who don't belong here in the first place? What world are we living in? This is freaking crazy time. Absolute lunacy. The cameras are racist, like Mark's Madness said in the chat. Well, they're targeting brown people. How about, it's that scene from Liar Liar. Stop breaking the law, a-hole! I'm sorry for yelling this morning, but it's infuriating. The concern centered on the possibility that the data gathered through the system could be obtained by federal agencies and used for purposes beyond local law enforcement, including tracking individuals who are in the United States illegally. Coaches did, however, admit that the technology had proven effective during the pilot program. Oh, okay. So the license plate readers were used effectively to solve local crimes, right? Whether it's, I guess, vandalism, assaults, bank robberies, whatever, whatever it may be. But because the mere possibility exists that this data may be shared with immigration authorities to locate illegal aliens, people who should not be here in the first place. Now we're going to end the program. Remember, if Americans want the program, what do you want? An unsafe community? Oh, well, just don't break the law. You won't have anything to worry about. Oh, okay. Okay. Anyone care to explain this? I need to honk another hedgehog because I'm so damn mad. Here we go. Whoops. There it is. Magamo is here. Thank you, folks. Thank you, folks, for 900 likes. Appreciate that. Appreciate that very much. Muchas gracias. Crazy Mo said, honk that fat hog. What is up with Magamo? Magamo is, that's the way it is. That's the way Magamo is. All right. Quick break. Let's talk about our friends over at Armor Colostrum. It's tryarmor.com/LFA TV. Try, TRYARMRA.com/LFA TV. This is the too much information segment of the show. I have been taking colostrum for, what has it been, about 3 weeks now? Maybe 4 weeks? Mm-hmm. Okay? I started off taking, a quarter of a dose, then a half dose. Now I'm doing a full scoop. And I got to tell you, I have noticed a major difference with my digestion. I'll say that first and foremost. My skin is doing pretty well too, but the digestion, it has been unbelievable. Not only did I eat a burrito the size of a rugby ball the other night and have no issues, but we had Taco Bell on Saturday night and I had no problem after that either. Who does not have a problem with Taco Bell? Only people who are taking Armor Colostrum and taking colostrum with a healthy gut. Colostrum is one of the best first nutritions we receive in life. It contains all the essential nutrients our bodies need in order to thrive. It can help reactivate your hair growth and help your skin glow. For me, it's fortified my gut health and ignited my metabolism big time. Helps combat bloating. It'll help me feel lighter, help you feel lighter too. It's a lot better than probiotics. It can fuel your fitness, performance, and recovery. Hey, I've noticed a little bit on that too. I've been doing tougher workouts every now and again. There's treadmill in our garage, busting my ass on that thing. And the colostrum is helping there as well. So check it out at tryarmor.com/LFA TV. That's TRYARMRA.com/LFA TV. Tryarmor.com/Lima Foxtrot Alpha Tango Victor to get 30% off of your entire first order. Tryarmor.com/LFA TV. Tryarmor.com/LFA TV. All right. How about this story out of Wisconsin? I say this about the illegals. 100% of illegal aliens are criminals, right? We talked about this on 1210 this morning as well. 8 U.S. Code Section 1235. Hold on. I think I may have got that wrong. 8 U.S. Code Section 1325. I switched a couple of numbers. Improper entry by alien makes it a criminal offense to enter or attempt to enter the United States at any place not designated by immigration officers. In other words, outside of a port of entry. But the real reason why I want all of them out is because, yes, one bad apple does spoil the bunch. And these two are very bad apples. Look, listen to this.
Bail now set at $500,000 for each of the two men accused of abducting a teenage girl from Manitowoc, 22-year-old Alicer Soles Gomez and 33-year-old Pedro Hiram Perez, both appearing in Manitowoc County Court today after being extradited from Wyoming. Authorities found the 16-year-old girl with them. According to court documents, authorities tracked the girl's cell phone and data showed her moving along Interstate 80 in Wyoming. Her family reported her missing in late November after last being seen in Two Rivers.
This is a wild story here out of Wisconsin. 2 illegals have been charged with the kidnap of a 16-year-old in the state of Wisconsin. What a wild, disgusting story this is, by the way. A disgusting story. Apparently, these two were given $1,500 to kidnap this 16-year-old girl from her father's residence in Two Rivers and transport her to California. A witness told police that the teen had sent a text message stating she was on the road and that it was for the safety of her family. The same witness also told investigators that the girl's boyfriend, quote, had become involved with the cartel and that the teen, quote, woke up to an airdropped photo with a gun pointed at the residence that she was staying at. Basically a message that says, hey, if you don't come with us, we're going to kill your family. Solis Gomez and Hiron Perez were taken into custody in Wyoming and have been charged with kidnapping and interference with parental custody. During a search of the teenager's bedroom, detectives said that they found a handwritten note outlining plans for how she would be, quote, discreetly taken from the custody of her father. But please tell me that they're just here for a better life, right? They're just here for a better life, right? This is a serious question for the libs. How much more of this are we supposed to tolerate? I'm not asking how much more of this are we going to tolerate, because we're obviously tolerating too much. How much more of this are we supposed to sit back and just take? I'm serious. Things are boiling close to over in this country right now. None of it is okay. Now you've got trafficking, $1,500 to transport a teenager from Wisconsin to California, under threat that the cartel's going to murder her family. What country do we live in? Because it does not look like the United States of America that I remember. Unacceptable. Unacceptable. All right. Let's get to one more word from our friends at LFA TV, the LFA TV store, lfatv.us. Click on that LFA TV store tab. Check it out. Check it out. Check it out. LFATV.us. Click on that Visit the Store tab, and you will see everything that there is to offer here at the LFA TV store at LFATV.us, 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 or JeremyHerald.com/store. Look at this. Big Bang MAGA. Ultra Dark Nuclear Big Bang MAGA. I love it. That's the LFA TV store. You can get some belated holiday gifts, maybe some stuff for the new year. Spring is closer than you think. It's going to get dark at 4:40 today. So Brendan's very excited about that.
I can't wait for the longer days.
LFATV.us or JeremyHerald.com/store. Might we fetch a cat?
Yes.
All right. We will be fetching a cat as we sign off today because we did hit 1,000 likes, and we greatly appreciate all of you. So thank you so much for watching and listening. Hey, over on the audio side, we have seen a ridiculous uptick in audio downloads on our audio podcast. Just go on any of your podcasting apps and search for Ungoverned. Hit subscribe. It's all you got to do. That's all we need you to do. It helps us fly up the charts and reach an entire new audience over there. On the audio side of things, there are no cats?
None of them will get up.
There are no cats. So that's not our fault. That's the cat's fault. You got to take it up with them. Thank you so much for watching and listening. As President Trump says, we will never give up, we will never give in, and we will never, ever surrender. And if all else fails, we'll just become ungovernable. Thank you. God bless you. God bless this one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Have a great rest of your Monday. We're back tomorrow, same time, same place, rumble.com/LFA TV at 10 a.m. Eastern time for Ungoverned. Also on 1210 WPHT from 6 a.m. to 10 a.m. tomorrow morning. Listen on the iHeart or Odyssey app. You could also follow us on YouTube at youtube.com/1210 WPHT. Until then, have a great rest of your Monday. We're back tomorrow morning. Jeremy Harrell up next with Live from America. In the words of John Fetterman, good night, everybody. Bang, gavel. And thank you for your attention to this matter.